Well, big results on top and bottom of the table, a Der Klassiker result, and another manager fired in the Premier League. Hey guys, it's Dave here with a soccer fan walks into a bar. Diego and Aaron are here with me to talk about MLS playoff matchups, Forrest's job search, and other news and notes from around the soccer world. So stick around. All right. Happy Monday, guys.
Happy
a
Monday,
nice, cool, rainy Monday evening here for us in New York. A couple beers in hand, but that won't let us stop the show.
Salud.
Salud. Gentlemen, how was the weekend? So for those of you that aren't taproom regulars, we have a limping Diego here these last few days.
Yes, it was emo night Saturday.
Yes, emo night Saturday. But before that, we the brewery now is in possession and own their own stage.
Yes, sir.
And in Diego's enthusiasm to build it,
I got a little injured, but that's nothing.
He hurt his ankle. But Nas, Diego, and I Saturday morning we got it all together.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Nice and sturdy.
Yep.
And emo night was in full effect, and it looked like everyone had a grand time.
With the amount of people jumping on it, it held its weight.
Yeah,
we're good.
It is.
It worked
for sure. It was a good
It has been Newberg tested.
There were times where there was like 10 people on it. We're looking at each other like, this is gonna hold.
And boy, did it, right?
Yeah,
it did. Yeah, it was
right.
a hell of a show. And not only that, the weekend in soccer was ridiculous.
Oh man,
every single match was exciting.
You know, it's just what we needed after that international break too. Because as good as the U.S. played, 100%. As good as Colombia played, like there's something missing when you don't have
multiple games.
Yeah, well, and that's we had the multiple games, but it's like Tuesday at 12:15 for Kazakhstan
7 p.m.
Cyprus. Like I get
churches on Sunday.
9 p.m. for USA Australia.
You guys know me. I'll watch anyone and everyone, but like, come on, I want the big team.
Think about it. Think about it. First off, like USA at 9 p.m. You're barely getting the Eastern guys, and 11 a.m. for Australia. People are at work at that point on a Tuesday.
Exactly.
No, I mean you guys know and virtually met the Bournemouth lead for the Sydney supporters group, and I was chatting with him on WhatsApp, and I'm like, oh, you gonna watch the game with us? And he's like, I got meetings all day. I'm at work.
Hey, listen, there is a reality. There are two religions that run on Sunday: soccer and Christianity. That is just the way it is, man. You can't take that Sundays away from us.
But church gets out at noon, and what normally starts at noon?
Soccer.
Well,
of course, baby.
Listen, I'm up early for the games, no matter where they are. So, all right, let's jump right into it. We are going to mix it up a little bit this week on the show. We usually start right with the Premier League, with the English action right and thick and fast. But we want to jump over first to the Bundesliga. We had a Der Klassiker.
Der Klassiker.
Bayern Munich have been absolutely steamrolling in all competitions.
Yep.
They're undefeated. Not just they're 100% record right now. Yeah. So, and in all honesty, I would never say this about any team in any league because there's so many variables, but realistically, Munich looks like they could win not just go undefeated, but win every single match.
Exactly. And I gotta say something, and I know this is a personal thing for me, but the addition of Diaz in that team gave him a whole new dimension.
Not just Diaz. I mean, so obviously Harry Kane is Harry Kane.
But his first season. Think about it. Didn't Leverkusen came in and spoiled his first season?
Yeah. But so now, and this was kind of his problem at Spurs. Obviously, Son Heung-min is an incredible player as well, but he was kind of the lone man up front.
Exactly.
And I mean, he still scores in boatloads, but the results weren't always there.
Correct.
Yep.
This year, you got Lucho with him. You got the guy from Crystal Palace, Elise.
Mm-hmm.
So they're firing on all cylinders. They're all playing well. I was one of the people that thought Vincent Kompany was way in over his head after getting fired from Burnley after they got relegated to Bayern Munich, but he's got them just humming along. Yeah. It really is cool.
There is a chemistry between his style of coaching and the Bayern Munich style of play. It just kind of like fit perfectly.
And we'll see. Is that is that a long-term success or is it something that the guys get tired of? But let's get to the game at hand. This was Der Klassiker in Munich this time around. The return leg in Dortmund will be, I want to say, the last weekend of February. We are looking to maybe make a big event out of it.
Mark it up, yeah.
But Munich went up 2-0 early. Goals from Harry Kane and Olise. And then Julian Brandt on the only shot that Dortmund had on target, scored to make things look dangerous again. And honestly, from there on out, Dortmund looked like they could have gotten a second.
Yeah. There was a possibility, but it was also, Bayern Munich kind of controlling the situation.
Yeah. I mean, they dominated the early part of the match. Although, I will say there was the second goal from Munich was the result of a Joe Bellingham slip in the box. Karim Adeyemi could have / should have scored on a Munich mistake. He slipped in the attacking box. So, a couple of slips here and there, and it could have been 2-1 the other side. And this is the first match that, although I think Bayern were the better team, they haven't just looked overly dominant.
Yeah, dominant, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
It's a rivalry match, and that I'm sure plays into it a lot. What are your guys' overall thoughts on the match?
That doesn't really change the dynamic, Klassiker or not. Bayern is there to dominate.
Oh yeah, and they're used to, regardless of who's playing them, especially in Germany. We talk about it with Arsenal and Liverpool and City when they're how tough it is to be the defending champion. It doesn't matter where Munich finished the year before. Everyone wants to play Munich.
And that's
I mean, when you are the top dog for however long they've been, every single game,
realistically,
any game that
30 years,
game that they lose, the opposing team is going to see it as an immense win.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Exactly, and that's the culture. Like literally, that is the culture. We are the champions. We're expected to play as such. Whoever is in front of us, whatever the tournament is, whenever the moment is. You must rise to it.
And I'm sure that the Leverkusen win last season kind of spurred, or whatever season was
two seasons ago,
kind of spurred them to not allow it again.
Exactly. And Company, that's the way he coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, that is literally his philosophy. No excuses, next man up. Get the results by any means necessary. I mean, think about it. Think about what he did.
Yeah.
The one thing that everybody's commenting is how he put his Araujo. His center back put him as a 9, and that's how you got the goal.
Anybody can.
I don't know. His name is escaping me, but
anybody can take the keys to a Ferrari. The problem is that do you know how to drive?
How to drive
it?
Can you drive it?
He shows that he can definitely drive that BMW.
Yes, the BMW. Yes, Mercedes. Right?
No, maybe.
Yeah.
Impressive. That's Bayern. That's what they're gonna do, and that everybody else is racing for second because I don't think anybody's catching them this year.
No, I agree. So
I mean, they already had 5
after
points.
7 matches played, Munich already are 5 points ahead of RB Leipzig, Stuttgart in third on 15, Dortmund and Leverkusen both on 14. But I mean, just listen to it. And this is with other quality teams played.
Yep.
Munich in 7 matches have scored 27 goals and only conceded 4.
It's ridiculous.
It's the next best in terms of goals scored is 19 from Eintracht Frankfurt,
which it's surprising considering they're
right. But at the same token, they've conceded 18.
Yes.
Yeah. So all those games are shootouts.
Those are fun games to watch.
3 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. They're exactly sitting in the middle.
And the next best in terms of goals against, Dortmund and Stuttgart have both conceded 6, but they've both scored less than half of what Bayern Munich have. So it's just there are the superlatives that come along with Munich, and I mean we can look at we can talk about Harry Kane in the goal race and
it's funny because that's what comes out of Germany when a team has a season, they have a season. It's like record-breaking stuff every other year. I mean, it's not every time because again, Bayern Munich dominates that league for years and years and years and years, but every time somebody kind of puts up a fight for them, they gotta put record-breaking seasons to be able to do that, and that's a tough thing to do on a regular basis.
Let's go from here. Tied for 4th place in scoring. This is after 7 matches. Among others is Olise for Munich with 4. Tied for second
Diaz
is Lucho and Can Ujan from Eintracht Frankfurt, each on 5. Harry Kane has 12 goals in 7 league matches.
Yeah.
More than double the second place goal scorer, one of whom is his own teammate. It's just incredible. I don't know, how old is he now? 30,
since you pulled out the top scorer in assists, if you notice, second in the league is Luis
Diaz, 5 goals,
that's what
4
I'm
assists.
saying about the other players.
Harry Kane,
but also look, Harry Kane's got 3. Like
he's got 15 goal contributions
between Kane, Olise, Lucho, and Serge Gnabry. They're like nobody. They'll all touch the ball, but you don't know where that goal is coming from.
Where the actual shot is coming from.
But rest assured, those goals are coming. It's incredible,
and that's why, because all of them are selfless.
I don't know. Call me a pessimist, but it's like, do we expect anything less? Oh
no, not at all.
No,
because you gotta give it to Bayern Munich because yes, they're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah,
they're firing on all cylinders. They've won 7 games. Can they keep it up? Probably yes. Are they going to win the German league? Probably, more than likely yes. But it's like at this point,
are you ready to? Way too early. But are you ready to call it? Is it Munich's title?
Yeah. 100%.
They're
playing too good, and that's what we're talking about here. We're not praising Bayern Munich for doing what they're doing. We're praising them for doing it the way they're doing.
Yeah,
this is a better Bayern Munich than many years. I mean, the comparison with this one is like early 2000s, like 90s Bayern Munich.
Let's not get it twisted.
They are that good right now, and that's what we're talking about. Praising the style that. Bringing.
I mean, do you praise England when they beat San Marino 13-0?
No, but and that's the point I was going to get to. Let's not get it twisted. Yes, they're doing incredibly well right now.
But they're also doing well.
The domestic double is essentially the bare minimum expectation.
Correct. Yeah.
It's Champions League or bust. There are clubs like them, clubs like Real Madrid, clubs like PSG. Even if Madrid doesn't win the league every year, which they don't.
Yep.
Or if PSG
they're expected to walk away with one piece of silverware.
At least,
what have you done in Europe? And even in those matches, Munich
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
good.
They're doing it well in every match.
We'll see. Like I said, two games into the Champions League, we'll see.
And again, like you said, always, they're expected to at least reach quarters, maybe semis, and any competition they.
I mean, if they're running into, they might have the lightest schedule.
So now, and the thing is,
they'll be nice and comfortable for those games.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, the teams that beat them last year in the European competitions are not doing as well as they did last year. So who's going to compete against them now? Because Paris Saint-Germain fell off. They were playing amazing, and that's why they won and all this. Inter, all these teams are not the same teams they were at the end of last year. So that's going to be a thing. So I think it's clear.
Inter's in second place, I believe, right now. Second to my AC Milan.
Yes.
Who, despite losing Christian Pulisic to a hamstring injury, Leao scored twice in a come-from-behind win over Fiorentina on the weekend. So Gotta drop my Serie A guys in there.
Hey, listen, I'm all about it though. That's my original league to watch when I was a young man.
All those Colombians that came over, Tino and
Córdoba, Yepes,
Mario Yepes,
No, so many great.
Baca was there for a long time. Yeah.
Oh, Cuadrado.
Cuadrado's still playing.
Yeah.
I think he's still in Italy. Is he at Pisa?
We talked about it like Napoli or something like that.
No.
Chiesa or something like that.
I think I just saw he's at Pisa.
But he is just like El Tino.
Yeah, he's at Pisa right now at 37 years old.
And still playing for Colombia.
Well, a little bit. Backup. He plays backup, but still.
116 matches.
Yeah. But the thing is and that's one thing with Colombians. Now that you switched us up to the Italian league.
We're off the rails already, guys.
They found home. We find our home there.
Yeah.
So many players.
You know who else found a nice home there? Well, maybe not nice. Is Anthony de Avila.
Hey.
Yikes. Too soon?
Home is home, man. No matter what you do with it.
Aaron, for those of you for Aaron and those of you in that listen, Anthony de Avila is a former Colombian player.
Greats.
One of the greats. He was maybe not an original, but he played for the Metro Stars in those first couple of years. I remember watching him. I remember sitting with like his family at games because because there were 300 people at the stadium at the time. But he, I think, even dating back to some of his Colombian history, got into a little bit of trouble with the cartels and is now in prison in Italy. So.
That was one of the victims of the 90s in Colombia.
Yeah. Yes.
It was sad, but
So a nickname Pitufo.
Pitufo because he was about 4.5 feet tall.
But he scored some bangers.
Like, but he was incredible. He was an incredible player. Played for my arch nemesis, the América de Cali.
The Cali, yeah.
But yes, coming back to that, our Colombian players love Italy, so we, fans, we love the Italian leagues. And hopefully we can get more content and more games. Let's get some fans out here to start.
We get some requests for the Napoli games now. We obviously, you don't have to pull my arm too hard to get an AC Milan game on the TV. So, true. All right, let's jump over finally to our main topic, the Premier League. Let's start with I don't think by any means a surprising result, but the result of the result was very, well, I guess somewhat surprising. I kind of expected it. We all talked about this Saturday morning, almost in real time. Well, you guys didn't think it was going to happen.
I admit I was wrong. I admit I was wrong. I thought that Marinakis got a little bit more pride to him.
For the record, I still think it's a stupid decision.
Yeah,
but I was right. So what we're talking about, guys, Nottingham Forest hosting Chelsea on the weekend. Forest 0, Chelsea 3.
I mean, we watched this game. This game, the statistics on this game look nothing like what the game was.
No.
Nottingham Forest didn't have a bad game. They had bad luck. You saw a bicycle kick go off the crossbar and into the post, out of bounds. You saw a header with nothing but the goalkeeper in front of it fly wide over the crossbar.
Yeah,
like they had so many open chances that they just could not get on target, and it should have been 3-3.
But that's the thing. That is the complaint. And I was kind of reading when I saw that on the script. The thing is, those are the problems.
Yeah.
And those are the problems. You create the opportunities, but whatever the reason is, the players are not finishing these situations. And it's more notorious from what I was watching and from what I was hearing talking on like free kicks, corner kicks. They cannot defend it. They cannot attack it. And that shows lack of discipline. That shows lack of training per se.
So
because like you said, there is a header with nothing but the goalie, no defenders, nothing, nobody around you. How do you miss that? You are a professional athlete.
And one thing I want to point out, and we were just talking about Munich. So let's obviously they're a bit of a special case, but let's use them as an example. Yeah. Munich has bad luck. They hit a post with a bicycle kick. They miss just wide. This happens. A player slips. They concede a goal. It's all right. Let's get up. Let's go. We're good. Forest, whether it's the players, whether it was Ange, it was like, oh shit, here we go again. Like there was that I don't know if culture is the right word, but that aura around them is just the same way winning is contagious. I feel like the losing and the mentality, whether it was Ange or Marinakis or some of the players, it kind of festered. And I think in that sense, I do think Marinakis was right to, okay, you know what? I thought it was going to work. Let's face it, it's not working. There's no sense in banging our head against the wall with this.
And I think that was the problem, his own pride, because previous coach had them top of the league, finishing the year strong. There were the problems, there were the drama, there was the things, and that affected the team.
Right.
And I just don't think they recovered. So he was a sort of a scapegoat, the way I see it. You know what I mean? He just wrong place, wrong time, came in right after some turmoil, and the team just didn't get behind.
But you know what? Also,
it sucks for him as a coach. I believe.
But at the same time, Ange has got to know. He's. I think I've got this right. He's Australian by birth, but he is Greek ethnically. I'm sure he's familiar with Marinakis. you don't go into a job like this surprised by how your ownership is behaving.
My issue with him is I don't think he's a manager in the Premier League. I don't think I'm not eligible to manage the Premier League. I don't think he's a manager for the Premier League. Like, I think he needs to find his success elsewhere.
I will say, I was chatting with some of our patrons on Sunday for the United Liverpool match, one of whom is a Spurs fan, and we were talking about Ange getting fired, and he was like, and I said, full disclosure, I've never really liked him as a manager. I mean, he's great for content. He's great for the show. He's always giving us something to talk about. Absolutely. But he said, well, he got us a trophy, and he's like a saint in my book. Like, so there is that, but I just not for me. I agree with you. It's
there are tears to this coaching
don't
thing.
Think he's there.
There's definitely tears.
I mean, he got you a Europa League trophy against Manchester United.
You can't
who at the same time
can't control who you play against.
Who was doing the exact same thing as them at the same time.
So. No, but it was a masquerade. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got a title, but as Mickey Mouse's goes, maybe not the title, the team you won it against.
Yes, and as of this morning, we are hearing and seeing rumors that verbally, Sean Dyche has agreed to become the next manager. And you know what? Maybe that's what they need at this point. He's kind of this generation's, Sam Allardyce, where he'll it's not going to look pretty. He'll keep you up. You're not going to get relegated. Hopefully,
placeholder a little bit.
What if he goes on a 5-game losing streak? Does Marinakis fire him again? Like, I don't know. At this point in time, what's on his shoulders?
Exactly. Now pride has gone, and that was my thing, and that was our thing actually. Like, the sign of weakness that it would be to fire Ange at this point, it was just too crucial. And now all bets are off. So now any coach that comes in has got, like Aaron said, a trial period. You got
if they get relegated, who's to blame?
You got this nobody is gonna be.
I think at that point it's Marinakis, whether he acknowledges it or not. Yeah. And if he wants to come onto the show and chat, we're
no, I don't want to.
You're always
listen. My blood bleeds yellow and black. So when it comes to anything Olympiacos, that can go in the trash. I don't care. I'm sorry to any Olympiacos fans listening. But.
That is it's totally valid. We'll excuse you.
You're a fan first and a co-host second.
Listen, they win 40 championships and half are paid for.
Okay,
so.
Oh my God! No.
All right,
we'll make a special show about that.
We'll do a special series just on the Greek Super League. Do they call it the Super League too?
Super League,
I know Turkey calls it the Super
League. My biggest issue with the Super League is they lost one of their Champions League spots. It only goes to first place, and the first place still has to play in to get in.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it used to be top 2. I used to enjoy seeing AEK play. We got the win against Milan, 1-0. That goes down in the history of AEK. But it's just one of those things,
All right. Well, on that note, if we hear anything between now and the end of the show about Sean Dyche, and although it's pretty much midnight there.
Do we have Marinakis on speed dial?
I wish. Someday we'll get there. We'll
just to practice.
All right. So elsewhere on Saturday, just a couple of the other quick scores. Brighton with a very nice win against Newcastle.
I called it. You guys questioned me. You're like, Newcastle's playing well. They're winning the last couple, and I'm like, if you have watched,
oh my God,
there's a reason they're sitting at the bottom.
It is funny. This the last show. I gotta admit it. We've had very, very, very distinct opinions. But the Lone Ranger won every time.
He got right with Ange. Yeah. I got right with Newcastle and Man United.
And I got it right because I was agreeing with the other person every time.
Yep. So. Sunderland with again, it's Wolves, but you got to play the games against the teams that you're drawn against. Sunderland with the 2-0 win that puts them in 7th place in the league.
Yep.
Burnley. So also, and this is kind of something we talked about on Saturday morning, compounding the Forest issues. Burnley gets a win.
Yep.
And what was West Ham lost, but that creates more distance for Brentford. So Forest now pretty solidly sit in 18th place, although it's only 1 or 2 wins from Sean Dyche, and they're right out and looking pretty. But that will remain to be seen. And honestly,
it's
we're saying Sean Dyche is definitely in there. You know, who knows?
Yeah. No, it's just what the problem, this fundamental problem is that the new promoted teams are actually winning, are actually playing and getting some results. They're not striving to be on the top.
You know, it's funny.
Getting those ties.
So the last two seasons,
adding up points consistently.
Right. So the last 2 seasons, all 3 promoted sides have immediately gone back down.
Yeah.
As it stands right now, none of them are in the relegation zone. So will that keep? I doubt it, but you know.
But like, remember a few months we were talking about it. It's just a process, you know. You got to make it a couple of times just to get your feet wet, just to learn, you know, the intricacies. And maybe with the second or third time you're promoted, you know, you have some stability that you can say, all right, I'm gonna keep the players I have. I'm gonna make some smart moves and try to stay a couple of years. You know, try to hold water, and then hopefully the bad teams, because I mean, the bad teams in the Premier League are pretty bad. Like the discrepancy is abysmal sometimes. Yeah. Not bad in general compared to other leagues, but compared to the rest of their division, compared to their own bar.
It is very hard. It is very hard to win promotion and keep
promotion.
The promoted.
Yeah,
keep that spot.
Possible.
Again, if it was easy, then you would see the same teams over and over.
Yeah.
Right.
It is not. You see 3 new teams almost every time.
Almost every time.
Yeah. All right. Elsewhere in the league, we'll stay. We'll go to London here. Crystal Palace hosting Bournemouth in a
hell of a match.
in a surprising top table clash here. A 3-3 draw. Which, if you asked me before the match, if Bournemouth were going to get a point at Palace, I would have taken it 7 days a week and twice on Sunday.
But it was a little disappointing.
But knowing, you know, Junior Krupi with 2 first-half goals, who is now this season the leading teenage goal scorer in the Premier League with 2 goals. But a 19-year-old in his first start bags 2 goals.
Incredible, dude.
And then Mateta does Mateta things. 2 goals in 5 minutes for him. An 89th minute goal from Ryan Christie for Bournemouth to make it 3-2. And then Bournemouth concede a 97th minute penalty. Mateta gets his hat trick, and he almost had a fourth.
Last minute, blew it right over the top bar.
So disappointing within the match for Bournemouth. But again, to me, you take that point on the road, and that puts Bournemouth, combined with the other results, tied for third place.
You can when a player is hot like he was, you can't stop him. It was a hot trick, but like you said, it could have been 4 or 5. He was on point the entire match. Every ball, every divided ball was his. So like, you know, kudos. And again, we didn't expect him to be on the top. So they're showing that. I mean, the one thing that this showed me was that they are ready to be up there right now, at least for the time being. Both of the teams are ready to do their thing and hold off their top 10 spots.
This to me is, we are beyond fluke territory for both clubs. I mean, Diego, I remember you and I talking about this at the end of the 23-24 season with Oliver Glasner. And we're like, oh shit, they're coming something together. And then they had a terrible start to last season, but they got hot again, and they won the FA Cup. They, they're doing, they're playing in Europe now. They're playing very well in the Premier League this season. So
and they are actually prioritizing the proper things. They're not doing too well in Europe. Just be honest, you know what I mean? The results are not there. I think they're just saying, all right, this is experience. We're going to go get there.
Of course.
Let's try to get it back, go back.
And let's not kid ourselves. They had some huge losses in the offseason as well in terms of personnel. So, so for them to still be doing what they're doing, is right incredible
things.
For them.
The way I see it, they're doing, the process is working itself the way it should be working itself. And there is nothing but, a high ceiling for this team.
All right, so elsewhere in London, we had North London's Arsenal traveling to West London to play Fulham.
Another London derby.
And but again, this is going to happen over and over and over and over again.
We got Crystal Palace next. It's another London derby. Here we go.
So Arsenal, here's the shocking statement of the season. Arsenal win 1-0 on a set piece goal.
Okay. I think the lie here is the shot on target, because they have 2 games straight with 0 shots on.
I mean, but let's be honest. That's been been their MO for basically 2 seasons now. Is Saliba, Gabriel. They're great. They have a great center back pairing. Defensively, they are rock solid.
They brought in Calafiori, and they have Timber healthy.
Calafiori for my money is. He's struggled with injuries and adjusting to the Premier League a little bit last year, but he's got some stuff in his bag that is very, very good.
Communication wise,
obviously, playing for the Italian national team too. I always kind of keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
But I really like what Calafiori can bring to the table.
I'm at the point where I'm with the Arsenal pundits on this. Finally, as much as I am a pessimist about it, I'm also getting tired of the people complaining, and they look to complain about something. And this week's it's set pieces. Stop complaining. Just stop. The reason why we're winning set pieces is because we keep it in my opponent's half. I'd rather them keep it in the opponent's half and win 1-0 than keep it in our half and say, "Oh, Arsenal barely got the win."
Oh yeah, I mean,
got 1-0.
That's the same as saying
listen, it might be boring football, but there's been other times where teams have played boring football and they've still won.
I mean, you heard all the complaints about Man City for 3-4 seasons. It's boring.
They play the same.
They dominate.
Well. And that is just uneducated guesses, to be honest with you. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but when somebody knows what you're doing and you still get to do it week in and week out and still get away with it, there's got to be some art to
this is the second time we've had a penalty called back. Second time we've had a penalty called back, and no one's crying about that. No. They're crying that we score on set pieces.
No. But that is just the way to score. That's the way the soccer plays.
I'm just tired of it. I'm like, listen, Arsenal are in first. We've allowed 3 goals. We've had 6 clean sheets in 9 games. I don't know how many games. Whatever. We've beaten it last season. We lost to Olympiacos. We lost to Fulham. We lost to we drew Fulham. We lost to West Ham, and we lost to Newcastle. And guess what? We've won all 4 of those games in a row.
That's been turned around.
People are sitting there they have issues with it. Like, just stop. Nah. Just watch the game, and if they win one, I don't even care if they win 1-0.
Yep,
a win's a win.
Yeah. Oh no, without a doubt. Especially again when you're at the top of the table, when you're playing so many London rivalry matches, London derbies, you have to grind out these results.
Yes,
and
we play Palace next. Another. So technically, in the past, we've been winning 4-1, 3-1 to Palace. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think so. Palace is playing too well. But if we walk away, even if we walk away with a point, we'll still be in first. And that'll be another hard-fought win against a team who's playing really well.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Or hard-fought draw.
Yeah. That's you nailed it. And
just enjoy the thing.
Enjoy it while it's there.
We play Atletico Madrid. Do I think we're going to win? No. But I would rather take the loss here and take the win in the Premier League on Saturday.
That's a home match, right? Yeah. That's
at
the Emirates. So, but still, it's 3 tough matches in a week.
Sorry, I'm at the point where I want to start believing in them, but I just hear I want to start believing in them, but I keep hearing all this trash.
Negativity,
it's not just negativity. It's the fact that pundits talk so negatively about them that I feel like it affects the matches. Right, like all the players, is the ref out to get them now because they shouldn't be doing this? Now they're good at set pieces. Are we going to start getting whistles on set pieces? That's my issue.
I don't think these guys aren't listening to pundits. They're not reading the newspapers. They are, especially with how structured their days are.
Second game in a row where it takes 10 minutes to determine whether it's a penalty or not.
Well,
second game in a row.
But these players are. I don't think they give a shit.
Red brain. We're talking about the other X factors.
The VAR, which, like you said, wasn't working.
That was why. Honestly, on my way in here today, I'm like, oh shit, I wonder if our streaming stuff is going to even work. I don't know what they use. All right, so let's move on into Sunday.
Enough said.
Listen, first and foremost, the only thing that you and the league should be caring about is I'm pointing to our manual league table over here. First team up is Arsenal, 3 points ahead of everyone else. Yeah. So
if we win the next game, we're still up top. We win the next game, we're still up top. That's all that matters.
All right. So the Sunday match,
that's the one.
And we've talked about this at length, whether it's Liverpool United, which it was yesterday, or it doesn't matter. But when you have these big rivalries, it doesn't matter where they are on the table.
Yep, it's a whole different ball.
Liverpool. This match is at Anfield. 70 seconds into the match, Brian Mbeumo scores to put United ahead 1-0. Gakpo scores in the 78th, and then I wish I had the soundboard for it. Harry Maguire with an 84th minute goal.
It's Harry Magician doing it all again.
Yeah.
2-1 to the United, and watch out, Ruben Amorim is on a win streak.
Two-game win streak for the first time this season.
I believe this is the first time under Amorim they've won consecutive league matches, which is
it's crazy to hear.
It's one of those crazy stats that you hear. Like, yes, I know they've been struggling. I know Amorim is trying to change a lot. I know a lot of fans, players, pundits, whoever think he's not the guy for the job. I didn't realize it was that bad that he hasn't won back-to-back league matches yet.
No, actually, we kind of did, but we forgot. We talked about it for a brief moment one day in passing. The way we go off the rails, we just said it. But yes, it is true. They cannot win back-to-back. So this is one of the most valuable victories for this team in a few years now. It's crazy to say it. It's crazy to hear it, but
is anyone happier? Who's happier right now? United fans or Arsenal fans?
I think Arsenal fans are.
Arsenal
United finally. I think that all the Liverpool fans that were giving us shit for winning 1-0 at United, people were like, "That's United. You should have scored 3 on them." Like I said, he did. And it's like, okay, now the Liverpool fans can shut up.
Yeah,
there you go. Yes.
I honestly, you might have more Arsenal fans that are happy than United fans because now. 100%. A lot of United fans don't like Amorim. Now he's in the job for the foreseeable future.
They were actually celebrating. I watch a bunch of TikTok videos and stuff like that of Arsenal fans celebrating.
Of course. I keep looking at my phone every time I get a notification to see if there's anything about Forest.
Listen, there were entire pops filled with Arsenal fans watching this match.
Here's the issue: is I told you guys it's too early in the season. Had Bruno scored 2 penalties, they'd be in 18 points right now.
Yeah,
18. Where would that put them? Second
place.
So I told you it's way too early in the call.
Yeah.
Again, he could go on another losing streak. Cool, but it's just it's to the point where people were like, "Well, Manchester United's in 10th." I'm like, "Yes, after 3 games, we could play 38."
Right. So to build off that, yes, I agree. It's too early. Is it time for Liverpool to start panicking?
Yes. I don't think it's a panic. I think they need to figure out what's wrong.
Yeah.
I think they just need to figure out what's wrong. Again, I told you they were showing cracks.
Yes.
And people were like, "Oh, well, the first 6 games are good." I told you the next 6 games that they played, and they've played 3, and what has happened in all 3?
Yeah.
The next 6 games are going to show their cracks, and I think they've lost all 3.
So
they've lost their last 4 matches.
It's not necessarily
including at Galatasaray. But
I may not be a soccer pundit, but I called it. I called it 4 weeks ago.
Boy. No, you are absolutely right. And yes, it is time for you to start getting serious about what's happening here.
Their last win was exactly 1 month ago in the Merseyside Derby on September 20th.
And again, not to harp. And this is just not me being a fanboy of Diaz, but that's one thing they have lost.
Well, not only that
one-on-one thread.
No.
That guy.
Where's Isaac been?
Exactly.
People sit there and they complain about Gyökeres not doing anything. Where's the $1 million? Where's the $100 million man?
Yeah.
Well, forget about Isak. Mo Salah.
I mean, Mo Salah. What does Mo Salah have left to give Liverpool? What does Mo Salah have left to give Liverpool? He's given them. I mean, everything.
I'm hearing a lot of pundits kind of talk, how do we fix this? What do you do with the personnel? Where do you where do you put these pieces together? And a lot of them are saying Salah's the odd man out here
because he's the oldest man out, but he's still the best player there.
If he's the best player, why isn't he scoring goals?
Why is Van Dijk not scoring headers on set pieces?
Like you can't play by yourself, and like we're talking, Isak is doing absolutely nothing. What's the name of the kid that replaced Diaz?
Florian Wirtz.
Who's supposed to be the phenom.
Yep. Ekitike and
listen, I can't speak because again, Gyökeres he's not producing goals. He's producing results. He's producing those opportunities and results, but
not for anything. I'm on record as saying I thought he was more of a system player under Iraola. Milos Kerkez has not really done much at left back for them. They're already talking about maybe dipping into the winter window and trying to get Anthony Robinson.
Well, they were saying that Bournemouth's replacement for him is looking like a 25 million investment.
Adrian Truffert has been
like they saved 25 million on Kerkez.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said it
exactly.
I've said it here. I said it on the Premier League Fan Zone show, and the host there looked at me like I had 5 heads. I mean, I said that was, in like April of last year when granted Kerkez was playing lights out. He was getting all the plaudits from everyone. And it was that long transfer saga that he wanted to go to Liverpool for months and months and months. He wanted to play with Szoboszlai, his Hungarian compatriot.
I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it where players. I don't mean to cut you off, but we've seen it where players have come into the better teams, like the top teams, and they just don't produce like they used to. Yeah. And I don't think it's just in terms of one player for Liverpool. I think it's been a surprise for who they've picked up.
Yes. They so far. Yes. And this is shocking because I as a AC Milan fan, I still have nightmares about 2005 Champions League final. But in the last 10 or so years, they have been extremely good in the transfer market.
Yeah,
going back to the Coutinho sale and everyone that they brought in from that sale, Alisson, Van Dijk. Yes, they were record transfers, but they were home run. They were a home run.
Exactly.
Liverpool have spent probably about 250, 300 million in this summer window.
Nothing.
And it seems like they are all, to go back to that home run analogy, they're all swings and misses.
I think United's the only one that's paid more, right?
So now coming back to what you were talking about and the pundits saying Salah, that's why that money is not working out, because the way I see it on the pitch, he's not really getting along, and maybe not personally, but just playing wise, he's not getting along with two guys that support him. And when that happens, it was like back in the Mané days.
I was just about to say,
we can't work together.
For all his ability, I mean, he does have a little bit of a track record of, I don't know if diva is I wouldn't go that far.
I actually would, but he was that good.
Yeah.
He's older now. He's not as dominating.
He does have a fresh front, though. He has Wirtz, Ekitike, and Isaac, right? So I don't know. He's working with 3 new.
Is it too many new parts?
I don't know. Maybe
it is too many new parts. But the problem with Salah, like you said, he has that diva tendency, and if he doesn't like what's happening, he's not gonna play along with them. And I see that happening right now. He got along famously with Diaz, and at the very beginning of the tournament.
And again, obviously there's nothing the club could have done about it, but obviously the loss of Diogo Jota is a huge impact, both on and off the field.
Yeah.
Did Arne Slot just get lucky last year? And and we see it all the time. We see it all the time. I mean, look at all the negative. I wouldn't say negative press, but all the chinks in the armor for Hansi Flick now in year 2. Mm-hmm. He won the league in his first year, just like Arne Slot. Yep. Like, are the players starting to tire of the shtick? Are they just not gelling with the new style, the new system? It could be 100,000 different things. Yeah. It's probably in reality a combination of a little bit of everything.
Yeah. But the good thing is, just like in most sports, as weird as it seems, you can see teams go on these losing streaks. But if you look at the table, they're only 4 points.
As
bad as they've seen over the last month, they're still in a good position where if they can right themselves, it was the same thing. You said that we said the same thing about Manchester United. They're down in the bottom, but if they can right themselves, they can go on a win streak. It's so early in the match. We're not at halfway point. If we reach the halfway point and Liverpool's, then yeah.
But like you said, these 4 games, these 3 games that are left of the 6 games.
Yes, they will still prove that they have pressure.
All right.
And it doesn't look like too much. I think what you're saying, maybe they do need to either get rid of Salah and commit to the future. Yep. Say, okay, this chapter is over. Let's try our guy. Let's try our young blood, because they have the skills. And, to close that up, those are what these 3 matches are going to show. Do we need to move on? Or are we willing to work it out and keep pushing?
All right. Speaking of too early in the season, right now, you have Arsenal on 19, City on 16, Liverpool and Bournemouth on 15, Chelsea and Spurs, and Sunderland on 14. What's your top 3?
For the end?
For the end.
The same 3. Arsenal, City, and Liverpool.
In that order?
Yeah.
I want to say Liverpool goes over Man City.
So Arsenal to win, Liverpool second, City third.
Yeah.
As much as I want to say Arsenal to win, I feel like between now and the end, there's going to be too many league changes. I don't think. I don't think they're going to hold it.
No,
I don't think they're going to hold it. But I think they can get back.
They are like we are talking about. And again, I don't want to put a curse on Arsenal right now because Aaron's going to be mad at me. But they are getting the results that they couldn't.
Listen, the only thing that's going to stop Arsenal from winning is Arsenal themselves.
Yes. So if they keep
they're at that point. They're at that point.
Yeah.
They are good enough that they cannot blame any team they play against besides themselves. You could go again. They drew City. That was their biggest nightmare. They lost to Liverpool on a wonder goal. That was their other biggest nightmare. Yeah. So you have proved you can keep up with these teams.
Yep.
The problem is all the teams we lost to and drew to last season, the freaking 13 draws. Am I going to see 13 draws on the table?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Saying.
That's what I'm hoping.
That's what I'm saying right now. It doesn't look like they are because they're finding these goals. And one of the most amazing things, and I keep saying it every week, every time we talk about Arsenal, the substitutions. They are delivering. Every time a player gets plugged into the field midway through the game at that 60-minute mark, like we talk about, it is delivering.
And I would say to build on, I would say not even just their substitutions. When Odegaard comes off injured and can't play the next match, someone else comes in.
Superman walks in. Mourinho moves up front because.
Who was the defender that came on in the Liverpool match? It was early when what's his name got hurt early in the match. Oh man,
Skelly? No.
God.
But yeah,
Ben White.
That's the difference between Arsenal last year and the year before.
Well, that's the other thing.
This Arsenal.
No, you're okay to them doing what you need. Mourinho goes up front.
He's getting it done.
It's so funny.
They kind of I guess the third time is a charm, and they get tired of, being the same thing. And
Timber. I mean, no. I mean, I don't.
It's gonna drive you guys crazy.
Mosquera.
Christian
Mosquera came on.
The young guy that they picked up from Valence
played out of his mind against Liverpool.
Listen, I don't usually watch clips of the training. I don't usually watch clips of the pundits. However, they have been showing up widely on my stream. They showed up today's practice showed up on my feed, and they were all happy. They were laughing. Arteta was being chased by the vice coach, Heinz, I think is his name. He was chasing him.
Gabriel Heinz.
He was chasing him, laughing, and
wow.
I've never the spirit around the team in the last 5 years has gone from arrogance and depression to happiness and family. There's been a huge change.
Would you say they went through the 5 stages of grief? Huh?
Probably.
They're right now
for the 5 years. Yeah.
They're
the loss of Wenger.
Yes. We're at acceptance.
We're at acceptance and recovery. They're ready to move on, baby.
All right.
So that's what I'm saying. This is it.
Speaking of acceptance and recovery, we need a little bit of recovery after that Premier League weekend. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with some MLS action for 100 miles to home, guys.
Yes.
Cheers.
Look at that. As a good bartender, perfect pour on one shot. He only had 10 seconds to do that, everybody.
Diego shook up my beverage like an a-hole.
All you can see is the head on the end.
Yeah, seriously. We're getting there. We're getting there. Not too bad.
Cheers. But that's the hit. You see, people, look at that.
That is a proper beer. I know it looks like there's too much foam there. That is what you want to see from a good beer, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't like feeling bloated.
That's all the scents.
Well,
that's all the aromas.
So
and
that's going to do the opposite
out.
of bloat you.
Yeah.
Because that's getting all
that gets it out. What happens when you pour it full beer? That happens now in your stomach.
Yeah.
So, but listen, that's how I pour beers here at the brewery. If you're at home and you don't like it that way, you can pour it however the hell you want.
Learn
It's
how to
your
pour,
beer, your
people.
house.
Learn how to pour.
Listen. If they're judging a podcaster for how he pours his beer, they got better things to worry about.
Well, hey, you know what? Judge away, but you have to like, share, and follow as well.
Yes.
So, see what I did there?
And comment.
Do all the things.
Yeah, comment on how bad he's pouring the beer. That's it. We need it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! All right, 100 miles to home. It was decision day in the MLS, which for me is one of the coolest. I know the Premier League does it as well, but I feel like they don't make a big deal of it. But also probably because, and Nas, you and I and Diego, we've all talked about this ad nauseum. It feels like, but the playoff implication,
yes,
it certainly gives a little bit more. It's not just who's going to win the league, who's going to get relegated. And last year, obviously, with the Premier League, we had a lot of potential movement in the European spots.
Correct. There is a bigger excitement to the playoff push towards the end of this year.
There's more teams potentially involved in all that movement.
It's an American product. If there is something that America knows how to do, is drama.
Oh yeah.
I would still like to see the bottom team.
That's one of the things I like about VAR, by the way. Like
the drama.
Like you want drama?
Yeah.
You got 50,000 fans in a stadium watching a replay over and over and over.
And 90% of them don't agree with
I know. But waiting for the refs to make that announcement. Like that is fucking drama.
I mean, you could go all the way back to the NFL with that, waiting on a call what is it? A judge call or whatever.
On a yellow flag.
Yellow flag.
There you go, yellow flag.
No, like a challenge. A challenge call. A challenge call. Yeah. So like.
Yeah, exactly. That's the product, and that's why we love it.
All right. So as far as our local teams go, NYCFC had already clinched a playoff spot. They could have had some movement up and down. They lost at home to Seattle Sounders. Jordan Morris and Jackson Reagan scored for Seattle, and Nicolas Fernandez scored for NYCFC. NYCFC does settle in at the 5 spot. They will play Charlotte in the first round. The big kind of effect on that in terms of being 5th instead of 4th is in the best of 3 format. 2 of those matches, if it goes to all 3, 2 of those will be in Charlotte. So, that is certainly a factor. For me personally, I selfishly like it because the away match is when I'm going to be away this weekend, so I didn't want to miss the playoff match. So there's that. But yeah, so NYCFC finished in 5th. They were I wouldn't say very inconsistent, but they had streaks where they looked like one of the best teams in the league, and they had streaks where they looked like, they belong in the second division.
But like we talk about it was depending on the team. If the team, depending on what the team did, they had problems or excelled.
Right.
And Charlotte actually plays into NYCFC's type of game. You know what I mean? So looking forward to that.
No, it's definitely a good matchup. It'll be exciting to see. Elsewhere in the league, Columbus Crew hosted New York Red Bulls. New York Red Bulls had no chance of making the playoffs. They were already eliminated. Although Choupo-Moting did start the scoring in the 11th minute. They went up 1-0. Columbus came back with 3 goals, including one from Daniel Gazdag. And Columbus advances. They win the match. They will be playing, I believe, Cincinnati in the playoffs. So an Ohio Derby there. Elsewhere, Nashville, and we're just covering this just because of some of the extra stuff that goes along with it. But Nashville SC hosting Inter Miami.
A beating.
But very interestingly enough, these were the top 2 players in the Golden Boot race with Leo Messi and Sam Surridge. For those of you that don't know, Sam Surridge is a former youth product of AFC Bournemouth, actually. So,
no way.
Yes. So Nashville SC 2, Inter Miami 5. Messi with a hat trick and an assist. He clinches the Golden Boot. I
think he heard me talk shit about him.
I think he did.
Man.
I think he did. He
just went
he had one extra yerba mate, and
that was it. He's like, I'm gonna shut this mother up.
So 48 goal contributions this
crazy
season.
He went nuts.
Nearly tying Carlos Vela's record in 2019 of 49. I will put a caveat on that.
Mhm.
Vela, obviously Vela's got the record. He still does. Vela did it in 31 matches, all starts, played 2,700 minutes and change. Messi played in 28 matches, 26 starts, and nearly 300 less minutes. So the equivalent of, what is that? 3.5 less matches.
Yeah.
That being said, the best ability is availability. If you're not on the field, you're not getting goals and assists. I think objectively, Messi this year is the best season in MLS history.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Goals and assists and everything.
Now, also, interestingly enough, Miami will play Nashville in the playoffs in a best of 3 series.
Yeah. So that's the thing right there, though, because it's all good and well. They did the same thing last year, but
and by the way, Surridge scored a goal as well for Nashville. So
I think that's one of the things with Messi. Messi's not or wasn't used to the playoff thing. He will, like you dominate a season, you end up the season, you win, it's done.
Listen.
He was not ready for that extra step.
And another thought that just popped in my head, sorry for interrupting you and going back to what we were talking about with the comparison to Vela. I think Vela scored a bunch of penalties that year, and Messi gave penalties away this year, whether it was to Suarez, whether it was to other players. He did not that he didn't want to take the penalties, but there were moments where other players needed that confidence boost more.
And he actually
he said, "Yeah, you got it." So, again, I still think Messi's year is better than Vela's was. The proof will be come playoff time, though.
I mean, I see it both ways. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to shit on Messi's season. Messi had a great season.
Right.
However, I don't think Vela is the same
caliber,
make and caliber as Messi is. So for Vela to come in, and maybe it's because he was also an Arsenal player,
right?
But he did it. He did it with less. He did it, and I can't take it away from him. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
like I said, as much as I like Messi and I respect everything he's done for the MLS and the fact that he's had an insane season this season. Yeah. Again, we put so much emphasis on playoffs. Well, Messi, here's your time.
Yeah.
Win or goal. Win or goal.
To show it. Yeah, because the thing with Vela is
Vela was also 30. He was 30. That again, you can't. These are things that we can't control. But if we are going to split those hairs and talk about matches missed and supporting cast and this and that and objectively who had the better overall season, when you have Vela in his age 30 season compared to what Messi's doing now at, what is he, 37, 36?
38, I think.
Let me just check it real quick.
But no, Vela.
Yeah, Messi's 38.
Vela is an incredible caliber of player. The only problem with Vela, and the reason why Vela wasn't close to Messi or wasn't that.
I keep thinking you're saying Bella, but
Vela,
which is Be Pequeña.
Exactly. Ube. You see, there is one thing funny about Colombians. We don't overpronounce the V. We say both, and especially people from Cali, from like.
I was going to say, I would assume different regions of Colombia.
Yeah, we say both. Both of them are B's for us.
Yeah.
So it does. That's how
I was taught in school, and that's why Be Larga and Be Pequeña.
Yeah, but we don't say we don't use that, which is crazy. But nonetheless, Vela was great. He always had the problem of being from Mexico. It was.
That sounds terrible when you say it.
No, but it's right. But it's right.
Yeah. He was terrible when he was in Arsenal.
Yeah,
he did.
That was one of the biggest problems. He didn't get to play, or he was a great when he was on the field, but he got discriminated.
Well, and let's if we're gonna go with if we're gonna talk national team stuff as well. Excuse me, I believe I can look this up, but I'm pretty sure Messi led CONMEBOL in qualifying scoring. In this World Cup.
He did. Second to James and somebody else.
So again, at his advanced stage, he's doing it on the international stage as well. It is what it is.
No.
We could talk about this till the cows come home.
Yeah,
listen, again, I'm sorry, but again, as amazing as the season it is, you guys want to put emphasis on the playoffs? If Messi doesn't win this, I'm going to look at you and be like, he didn't win.
Oh no,
he didn't win,
and that's
that is why this product is this product, because
I'm sorry, I am against the playoff function for the MLS. That's how it's going to be. If
it's a two-tail story. Yeah, it's a two-tail season.
Yeah. They didn't win the cup. They didn't win the top trophy. Yeah. And if they don't win the playoffs, they didn't win.
I just want to see something real quick.
And it's valid because that's what happens. That's how American sports are measured. And to get out from soccer and put a little bit of context when it comes to American sports, that's what the New York Giants do year after year every time they win.
For the record, Carlos Vela's 2019 season, they won the Supporter Shield. I believe they broke a points record.
Yep.
Vela had 49 goal contributions. They didn't even make it to MLS Cup final.
Nope.
So,
but they won the cup. But they had the best record and they won something.
They got something.
Does anyone care about Supporter Shield in the MLS?
Listen,
I don't care about the playoffs.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what's going to separate Messi's season and Vela's season.
Listen, the issue with the playoffs is it's just like, I don't know.
It's a crapshoot. You never know.
No, it's always up in the air with the most. Just like
I think I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that. The point of a championship for my money is to prove who is the best team throughout the year.
Correct.
Not who limps into the playoffs and gets hot late.
Yeah.
like the NFL does, right? Both times the Giants won, they were the wild card. Which again is impressive to suddenly make it in and then win 4 straight.
What I will say in defense of that, though, it's not like
did they even deserve to be there?
It's not like this was a surprise format, halfway through the season. Oh, you know what? Let's let the New York Giants into the playoffs. They look like they deserve. Everyone knows how the format works well in advance.
Hold on, wait. Something going on in the MLB right now is affecting this format. The Dodgers had half their supporting pitching rotation injured or out until halfway through the season.
Oh.
And now, having played half the amount of games, they are being seen as a lot more fresh in the playoffs than anything else.
They are outsome favorite. Yes, I remember that.
So you can limp into the playoffs. And then immediately win out.
Teams do
That's
that.
exactly it.
There are teams that their sole purpose is that.
But here's the thing is a lot of pundits and a lot of players are starting to question whether that was on purpose or not. Was that part of the coaching plan for this season?
Well, okay, so let me flip that script then a little bit. I don't know that I believe that, but if that was the plan, again, this is a format that every team in Major League Baseball knows is the format.
Correct.
So, load management in the NBA. Yeah. And honestly, we're starting to see that a little bit in European soccer leagues.
Yeah.
Or even in the MLS.
You have
a 3-game week, and you're let's say it's Miami.
Yeah.
You have a home game on a Sunday. You travel midweek to Vancouver, and then you're back on the East Coast.
Yep.
You think all those, you think Messi, Rodrigo De Paul, Busquets, you think they're all playing in Vancouver?
No. I mean, you're seeing it in the Premier League too, where again, if we're playing Wolves, you're not seeing the A team come out.
Yeah.
But you're still seeing the team come out to play. Like I don't know. I don't know.
If I can be frank, I think
again we're talking about U.S. sports.
I think your overall disdain for MLS is clouding.
I don't have a disdain. I don't have a disdain for the MLS. I have a disdain for the fact that
come on. Now.
No.
There's no shame in that.
No. I don't have a disdain. I don't dislike the MLS. That's like saying that you hate the MLS. I don't hate the MLS. I hate its structure. I enjoy the teams. I enjoy the fact that the US has a soccer league. Listen, the one for the road, I can give you right now. They're talking about college being promotion.
Save it for the end.
Okay, all right.
But I did read that.
Again, that's the thing.
We'll get
there eventually. Don't worry.
My only issue with the MLS is its layout. That's it. I wish they put more emphasis on who won the season than who won the play.
I do agree with that.
That's my only issue.
I agree with you on that one. But the thing is here, and this is an outsider's perspective, somebody who grew up on the other side of the fence, and for who this was a novelty.
Yeah.
we know that that's how American sports work.
Correct.
You know what I mean? That's how it is. That's the way it was. So
You can get to the playoffs.
when the Major League Soccer started with the New York Metro Stars and all of them, we love the shootouts, boys. Like
the old dribbling shootouts.
We love those things. That was so exciting for us because
let's be realistic. That's what we all did as kids.
Exactly. That was cool. Yeah. So as an American, seeing that is actually kind of wrong because, well, you guys see the other side of the sport as what it should be. You know, that's how a season in soccer should be. First through 32nd, matches. Whoever scores more points wins. For us that grew up doing that all the time, the novelty back in those days was the excitement.
And the other argument alongside that I will make for a pro MLS structure, and I think there's plenty of tweaks they can and should make, absolutely without a doubt. You look at last year was a bit of an aberration in the Premier League. So, we can't use that 1 year. But by December, January, for a third of the league, the season is over.
Correct.
They're not going to get relegated. They're not getting into Europe. They're just kind of a lame duck team here, treading, and that's what the playoffs are geared to.
But no. See,
but you're rewarding those lame duck teams. You're rewarding them for mediocrity.
So I think what needs to change in this format is there needs to be a much bigger advantage to the teams at the top of the table. If you want to keep the playoffs, I'm okay with that. Yeah. Give a better advantage to.
Well, again, I feel like the playoffs should be treated like the FA Cup or the Cup of the Nations, right? You have a specific cup that is a playoff style in Spain, in England, in Germany, and then you have the main league.
I mean, we have that with US Open Cup.
I just wish that there was more emphasis on the overall and then the emphasis on the playoffs.
And that was the thing. So this is a matter of perspective. Yeah. At that point, it's just literally a matter of perspective because you guys kind of do have it. The Shield, the Community Shield, is technically being the champion of the season.
You see it in the NHL, but you see it in the NHL too. They have it too, but it's less emphasis on who did well during the season.
Culture,
correct?
That is the fan base. That is the fandom saying.
But that's what I'm telling you.
The playoff. That's the one.
You know what I would love to see from a playoff format, and I've argued this for the NHL for years because I think it would work there, because it can be such a matchup based thing in the playoffs. Yeah. I want to see in a playoff format, could be the MLS, could be anywhere. I just want to see this trialed. I want the number 1 seed in the East
playing the 16.
I want them to be able to pick the team they play against.
Oh shit, that would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Right?
No, like I said,
but that'd be cool.
So let's say it's supposed to be 1 versus 8. But they think they have a better matchup against the 6th best team.
Yeah, because they've played them twice, beat them twice.
Yeah.
So, and talk about bulletin board material, like, these got
you're going to put a target on their back and they're going to want to play harder.
I would love something like that.
Yeah, that would be
one chooses, then two chooses.
Like
one chooses, then 2, format. Then 3, then 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you go, and that's the thing. There you go.
How cool of a format would that be?
It will be awesome, but that is something that only works here. And that's the originality of MLS. MLS is this.
I know playoffs are not a thing in Europe, but you don't think something like that would work in Europe?
It would, but that's the thing.
I don't know how you would. I don't know how you would fit it in.
It's always the relegation.
Technically, you do have a playoff, but the problem is that you have a playoff from the top, from the bottom to the top.
Yeah,
it's not deterministic on where you start.
Right.
Which again is different because again, as you saw, United can lose to a level 2 team, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. That can happen, but I find that exciting in its own way too, because you give the lower teams a chance to play through something.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. We have that, like Aaron was saying, it's just called something else. Yeah. In European countries, it's called, the Nations Cup, whatever cup, the second.
Like I said,
everybody plays against everybody. Yeah. And in our countries in South America per se, it is the relegation. Yeah. You got all those middle of the table, lame dogs that you guys are talking about. There is rumination between these players. So they do try to play spoilers to these lower teams. It's not about, you not having anything to win. is how can you make that one get relegated?
You don't
correct.
You don't want the team you're playing against to celebrate winning the title on your field.
So
I get it.
That is the drama.
I'll end it with this. Again, on record, I do not hate the MLS. I do not hate the MLS.
I'm gonna cut out the I do not part, and
that's fine. You're literally just gonna get hate MLS. I do not hate the MLS. I just
hate
don't.
MLS.
I just don't have. I just don't have a stake in the format in which it's ran.
I get it.
And in all honesty, just like honestly in basketball and in hockey, I will watch it. I love sports in general. I will watch every single sport in general. However, I do not have a stake in the MLS. There is no. I can root for both New York teams because I live in New York, but there is not a single team that I will go out of my way to root for.
There's a term for that. Euro snob. No.
I just that's the thing. Like I can't.
He's Greek on how.
Like in basketball, people are like, "Well, why don't you root for the Knicks?" It's like because I didn't grow up watching basketball. Yeah. I enjoy watching a game and being able to watch both teams play. I hate when as much as I love Arsenal, I hate watching Arsenal games. Because like you said, there's so much emphasis on your team winning or losing, and it's like I don't want to feel terrible watching my team play.
Oh no, and I get that. Yeah. Coming from my coaching background as well, like, yes, I'm a season ticket holder for NYCFC. I'm the first to acknowledge if they're playing like shit or they're playing a different style than they should be. But I also, at the same time, if NYCFC is not the better team of that day, I still enjoy watching the match because of the match. So I'm on all that.
That's why I can enjoy the Premier League no matter who's playing. Yeah. Because I enjoy just watching soccer.
I mean, listen,
when it comes to like baseball and football, forget about it. I have teams that I follow. Yeah. And when I go out of there's times where I go out of my way to not watch them because I curse myself. Right. I didn't watch a single game the 2020 season, and the Braves went and won the World Series. I didn't even watch a single World Series game.
No way.
I didn't watch a single game.
But we all have a superstition.
Not that he's a Braves fan.
I am.
I want to make sure. I want to give context to
here's the thing. The one thing I do like about American is that they have two leagues or multiple leagues. So it gives me the chance to pick two teams to follow, East and West, as opposed to just one team overall.
On the whole team.
Yeah. Because again, like the playoff structure, right? I like it in baseball because the two teams I root for can face off in the final.
Nice.
Here, if I choose New York and New York, I can never get that.
I do want to get back to the Nashville Inter Miami match. Just really quick.
No, we're
good. You see,
as always.
For those of you with a keen eye watching this on YouTube, if you look very, very far in the corner, you can see the rails that we went off.
Right over here.
So again, Nashville Inter Miami will have a rematch. Nashville is the current holders in the U.S. Open Cup. They have looked very dangerous at times. They have a very good squad that they've put together. Sam Surge, runner up to the Golden Boot, I believe. I will be this week interviewing, and it will be on YouTube probably closer to the end of the week, maybe into Saturday. I will be interviewing the chief scout for Nashville SC.
Now, do we think that Miami's win is due to Nashville resting players?
To be honest, I did not look at.
Like you said, it was 5-2, right?
Yeah, I did not. Obviously, Sam Surge played. Let me see. I did not look at their.
And you guys got me heated twice today.
Their squad in depth. Schaffelberg played.
That's what makes it good.
So Jacob Schaffelberg played and scored. Yeah. He's a Canadian international.
Surge, you said scored.
Yeah, Surge played. Willis played, Walker Zimmerman played, Daniel Levitz played. I mean, that's a Hani Mukhtar played. He did come off. I would say that's about as close to
a full squad.
Their full squad. I mean, obviously, I'm not in depth with their their injury list and all that, but I would say that is
as close as their squad.
Again, the playoffs. All holds, all things lifted, all bets are off. Yeah,
exactly.
We'll see what happens.
So, I'm very excited to talk to their scout. It'll be a fun combination of obviously product on the field, but his main job is kind of, the stuff you don't see behind the scenes. Can they bring in that 18, 19-year-old star, or are they bringing in a Hani Mukhtar, a Sam Surridge, these stud players. What has the influence of Messi coming into the league has that helped? I mean, I'm really excited for this interview.
That
it's going to be fun.
Incredible.
That's awesome. So, on another note, Miami's in East, right? They're in the
Yep. Miami and Nashville.
So obviously, if NYCFC wants to win it, they're going to have to go through Miami.
I can, you know what? Let me bring up on our screen here that you can't see.
Again, another reason why I can't root for two teams, because you got like, I sat here and I said Messi's had a great season, and I did say I want to give a shout out to Vela for having his season.
Such an Arsenal homer. Can you believe it?
Listen.
I am a national guy, and there is a reason why I follow the most random teams. Because if I see a Colombian there, I'm going in.
But my thing is
Japanese.
And I also don't have a disdain for Messi, if that's what you're thinking. My thing is, I would like to see the Messi project work. Right.
Yeah.
If they win this playoff, it would be nice to see that the project that they built around him and the team that they built around him worked. Again, that's the issue with the playoffs, is that anything can go, and they could have a terrible 2 games and then be knocked out of it all.
So let me ask you something then. What Man City and PSG have done in the last 7 or 8 years, in my opinion, that is not to win domestic titles. Mm-hmm. That's to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
The Champions League is the European soccer equivalent of playoffs. Right? It's you have that league phase, and then you have these knockout brackets.
Correct.
So,
but you don't have 8th place teams playing. You have a round of 16 though. But you don't have 8th place teams playing. You have first place teams from around the world.
You don't have first teams playing. You have 5 teams in England in the Champions League.
Oh, that's still 5. That's 5 as opposed to 16.
Oh, come on.
5 as opposed to 16.
With that
5 opposed. You're telling me the top 16 teams are going to play off to
no. We could say that the comparison with the 16 team will be an African qualifier,
don't get me wrong. The other
Saudi qualifier, but still, those are the champions of their league.
Well, that's
so at the level they should.
Let's look at. Well,
that's the other issue.
Let's really twist the knife. The year Tottenham made the Champions League final, both Tottenham and Liverpool barely made it out of their group. They needed the last day just to make it out of their group to get into the knockouts.
Yeah,
and they both made it to a Champions League final.
Yeah, and both of them were top 5 in Europe and England.
But that's not champion.
So
top 5, so the 5th best team in England compared to the 45 UEFA countries.
Here's the other issue with playoff soccer. You have the top 8 in the West and the top 8 in the East, right? But not necessarily is the top 8 in the West better than the top 8 in the East. You might have 4 teams in one of the semesters that have played better than the other one.
All right, that's point. You could say the 10th best team in England is better than the Greek champion.
Correct. They
are
the
Greek champions.
But they earned their spot. But they earned their spot playing against 16 other teams to get there.
It's weird, but because of
for the record, I do agree that the MLS playoffs has too many teams. I will say that.
Don't get me wrong, but the MLS has their version of the Champions League. They have the CONCACAF Champions League.
Nobody gives a shit about the CONCACAF Champions
League because the champion teams that get in, nobody cares about. That's the other issue. The MLS is also in CONCACAF. Like there's no excitement to their Champions League.
Yes. So the thing with and the other thing with the whole England having 5 teams is because they are the most successible ones.
You also got 5 leagues in England. But you gotta go through 5 leagues to get to that.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
No. It's just even just the Premier people. The Premier people.
So you saw Greek lost 2 of their slots. Yeah. They have 1. I know. They have 1, and they still have to do a playoff to get into the Champions League.
Look at Scotland.
Yes.
Exactly.
Look at you have.
They still have to do a playoff.
Professional clubs in Wales.
Correct.
That have joined the English pyramid
because need to be there
because of the money involved and the structure and this and that. So
that is a reality.
You have Wrexham, obviously. Everyone knows Wrexham.
How do you feel?
You have Swansea, you have Cardiff.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Now here's a question for the MLS. Is there a team right now with a losing record in the playoffs?
This year, probably not.
Okay. In the NFL, you constantly get 7 and 8 records or whatever it is now. 8, 9 records.
It has happened. I mean, I don't know that empirically, but I would guess that it's happened in the MLS. We talked about it last week where across the divisions, the Red Bulls wound up in the MLS Cup final out of the Western Conference.
Correct.
Because of the way the structure was at that time. So like I said, I will also say, MLS is 30 years old. We are roughly 100 years behind most of these leagues in terms of structure, in terms of
learning curve.
There's no foundation. All these European clubs, for the most part, have started as town or company clubs.
Correct.
That have that foundation, whether they're going to win or going to lose. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest argument against promotion relegation is,
and yet the MLS is like, we're going to expand to 2 more teams.
Yeah. But come on, if the Red Bulls or NYCFC for that matter, as big as a fan as I am of them, if NYCFC gets relegated to the 2nd division,
but I didn't say I'm against the no relegation. I said, my only issue, and we can talk about this day in and day out. My only issue is that they put more emphasis on the playoffs, which, like you said, is a U.S. thing, and I acknowledge. Yeah. But I would love to see them not put as much emphasis on the playoffs as they do the main.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with you at all.
That's the only issue.
So here's one.
Listen, I enjoy playoffs too. I enjoy playoffs.
Colombia does something that is similar to Mexico's, beginning or end of the year. Maybe a thing like that will be actually quite interesting. You know what I mean?
Like a Liguilla type format.
You get the champion the way you make that emphasis, you make that big deal, and the playoff will be the top 4 teams of each tournament play against each other, and that one gets a special.
No. Here's the other thing. And you have me on record saying that I like it when an underdog has a chance at winning, right? Again, I don't like seeing the same team win over and over again. Yeah. Again, the MLS has that.
That structure.
They don't have that
into the MLS.
They don't have that team that always wins. So I do enjoy see who comes out on top in the MLS. And that's personally why I would like to see more emphasis on it, because it's never the same team 4 years in a row.
Right.
And again, the playoffs give me that feed for seeing an underdog come out, because you have that chance of the 8th team making that run up to the top spot. Again, that is my only issue with the MLS. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm right or I'm wrong. No, I just wish that they had it reversed, because the MLS has the best chance for multiple winners.
It's almost like, and obviously I don't mean this disparagingly, or maybe I do, Nas. But it's like you're fighting yourself with do I want it to be like European soccer, or do I want it to be like an American sport? And that's fine. Like that juxtaposition, I get that too. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a bigger, in general, soccer fan locally than me, in my opinion.
I want to see me.
I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning watching the morning, Italian games. I'm up at 11 o'clock at night watching whatever else. I'll watch anything and everything. I am on both sides of the fence with the MLS as well. Whether I want it to be more like a traditional league, or is the novelty of the MLS doesn't have to be the only game in town, and it's fine for some product. And let's face it, these are all products to be consumed commercially. Yep. What's wrong with having a league that has a slightly different method of delivering their product?
I mean, the issue is that the soccer fans of today want the MLS to be bigger than it is.
Yeah.
And right now, the only way they're getting bigger is they're expanding. And I don't think expanding is going to get them to where they want to be. But then again, England has 100 years on them.
Yeah.
Germany has 100 years on them. So we might not see it in our lifetime, but I don't think having 40-something teams in a league is going to help them.
It's very difficult, but the problem with that is also the size of this country. The sheer exponential size that you have against Europe.
Yeah, in London, you can walk between stadiums.
So the way
you can't do that.
The way it will be negotiated for America, if we wanted a little more reasonable type deal, is if you literally have regional tournaments. Like if you were at the NCAA per se.
Yeah, I mean, Brazil does that. Brazil has tournaments by region.
And then the champions, you have your own Champions League, but in the sense of the Northeast comes up with 16 teams. The Southeast comes 16. West and Central and West, and
but
you do your own tournament.
So,
but at that point, you still have a playoff to determine when.
No. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
At that point, you separate yourselves, and each champion is each champion.
So I will say,
you are the new
that
East.
essentially is the MLS playoffs. So you have the East and you have the West. But in terms of going back to more emphasis on the league, realistically, outside of, because right now the winner of Supporter Shield gets automatic entry into CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you want them to give? I you know what I mean? Like,
no, not necessarily on the sense of rewards, but attention.
You don't hear about it.
Yeah,
you don't hear about it. You hear Bayern Munich won. You hear Bayern Munich won the league. You don't hear who won the German Cup. I don't know who won. Who won the German Cup last year? I don't know. Who won the Spanish Cup last year? I don't know. We know who won. We know who won the league.
You know who won the FA Cup.
I mean, that's because we put more emphasis on it. We watch it,
but but relevant to us.
Yeah,
but it's
correct.
It's a side. It's kind of a side note.
So that, and again, I'm not passing blame.
Yeah.
We all have, and this is, a huge change from, where we were as young soccer fans, where you didn't really have a choice what to watch. It was, we talked about it last week. Yeah.
Italian League and
the Spanish League, and World Cup and USA games. You have your choice now, whether it's paying for Apple TV for the MLS and US Open Cup, whether it's Paramount for Champions League and Serie A and a couple other leagues there, whether it's Peacock with the Premier League, whether it's ESPN for Bundesliga and La Liga. You have the freedom to consume the game as you want,
and that is a thing that is fundamental to our
your choice as a fan. If you're more into the English league and you want to watch the FA Cup as well, you have that choice. If I remember watching the Copa del Rey final very distinctly last year. Barca won it.
Yeah,
that's there for me. Honestly, I don't remember who won DFB Pokal in Germany last year. I know Leverkusen won it the year before. I do recall that.
Yeah, no, and that's valid. But is the thing.
Here's the other thing: the U.S. Open Cup.
Consensus.
The U.S. Open Cup. Does that matter more than the Shield?
No, but that's me.
But why not?
Because U.S. soccer does. If you want to get behind the curtain, the U.S. soccer does an absolutely awful job of marketing their own product.
Yeah. And that is the fundamental argument that we are having.
Yeah.
But
that's
what
not.
Do you want
that's not MLS's fault, because that's not an MLS product. That's like blaming the Premier League on the Carabao Cup.
We're talking about the Shield. We're talking about the Shield. The Shield is MLS. The Shield is the one that gets the most points.
The Shield is the top. Who played the best?
How about the MLS says, "Hey, make a big deal out of this"?
So what's your solution?
My solution would be personally, and this is just insanity, but if I had all the money,
if there's one thing we know about Diego, it's insanity.
Yeah, there you go, baby. Out of the box,
what I would do? I would do the celebrate. It would probably be terrible, but I would do the playoffs before the celebration of the cup, before the season ends.
Nice, you can't
do a second. The English League does it. They have you do have the third cup, then the FA Cup, and then the FA Cup does it.
But those are separate.
Here's the difference. So
you know what I mean? My solution.
The MLS League, just real quick before you get in, the MLS League and the MLS playoffs are both put on by the MLS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The US Open Cup is put on by US Soccer.
Okay. That's the thing. So
in England, the Premier League is put on by the Premier League under the English FA, but the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup are put on by the English FA. Okay. So that is the major kind of inherent difference in terms of those structures and who's pushing what product.
Exactly, and that is the problem with that. So my thing will be, like I said before, each section of the country has their own league. They don't intertwine with each other at all. One champion is one champion, another one is another one, is another, whatever. And then we can have our version of the champions. All these champions play in a totally separate tournament.
An MLS Champions League.
Like an MLS Champions League. We make either a big deal out of that one or we don't make a big deal out of that one, but at least we know that original thing, the winner is going to be the winner. And that's the one we say, hey, This is
I like that idea.
Because it's huge.
The problem is
too big, and you do have the possibility of doing this.
The problem with that is then you have 2/3 of stadiums that don't see Messi or don't see Son Heung-min or don't see Thomas Muller. That's where the marketing is, though, is just like the NBA. It's marketing the stars.
Yeah, but you market your own players.
No. The NBA is the best league in the world. Hence the reason the stars come. The MLS have to be brought over. That's the issue. The MLS is not the best league in the world. It's probably never going to be the best league in the world. But you have to bring that. But you have to. But that's the thing. You're comparing the NBA to the MLS. You can't, right? That's the thing is I feel like the MLS's structure is trying to copy what has been a success in the US, and it's not growing soccer in the US at the rate they want it.
You don't bring big players. You foment your own, bread, and it's hard, but it's regional.
So
you don't think
like I said, I don't get paid to make the decision, right? I'm just a lowly podcast person on an awesome growing podcast show.
Watch your words there.
On an awesome podcast show, but I don't get paid to make the decisions.
No, I
can just give my opinion.
I think so. To go back to that last comment, I agree. We're not the NBA in terms of clout globally. Yeah. We have arguably one of the two biggest stars in the history of world football in the league right now.
Yeah.
We have maybe, and Diego, you were right. I will be the first to admit, I cannot believe the global stardom that Son Heung-min has had in the MLS and in the US. It's got to be probably even beyond your expectation.
I saw it, but not this big.
It's incredible.
I think we're seeing a grow of it though too, because we're also seeing the big grow of Asian players coming over to other sports too, though. He went to LA, which already has a huge Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto.
But you're making my point. You said we can't compare it to the NBA. Top 10 players in the NBA, where are they from?
Probably. Okay, where did they play in their prime? The NBA. They played the NBA in the prime. They played in the NBA. All of the players play in the NBA. They want to go to the NBA.
Okay. How old is the NBA?
That's what I'm saying. You're agreeing with me. I'm saying that the method that the USA has for their top leagues is not working for the MLS. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to be hated for this, but the MLS is being seen as a joke. When I talk to friends online, they say the MLS is a retirement league. It is a joke, and we are bringing players here to try to get media here to grow soccer so that it can become one of those leagues. Yes, and in all honesty, we are growing it.
I've told you many times. Don't know. I actually have said it many times.
Yeah.
The whole bringing the league, bringing the superstars, like you're saying, not having them choose to come here, but actually paying up. So we're like the Saudi leagues. Throwing money at a thing.
Yes.
My thought is, and the thing is, all these leagues were built up, and like you said it yourself, all these teams in Europe, they were created by the cities, by the towns. There was a community involvement. Yeah. The stars that started playing in those teams when they started, they were local athletes. They were local people that got together. The MLS really never had that. Thing.
Athletic Club Bilbao still holds that. That's cool.
And that's what builds a league, and that's what makes it takes 50 years. And again, that is the difference between America and American MLS, soccer leagues, and the rest of the world. This is a business, a true business. This is not created by a community that wants to make money, and somebody sponsors them, and the money comes afterwards. They want to make money now. And that is being the fundamental thing for growing the MLS in the United States.
Yeah, I like the publicity that comes from bringing Son and bringing Messi. It's huge. It's huge.
But that's how you get to the point of a 26-year-old star now wanting to come to the MLS. Mm-hmm. So Vela had
he wasn't a star. He built LAFC. LAFC started with Vela.
Yeah.
So,
just like
I mean,
Donovan and Beckham.
How old was Beckham? Was 32? Yeah. But I mean, that's still that's not.
Henry was 33, I think, when he came.
Yeah.
But Henry didn't build Red Bull. He came to Red Bull.
But you also you can't you can't get to step C.
Yes.
Skipping A and B.
And A and B is growing.
But the question is A and B working?
You can't grow as a global brand.
Listen, rich people
solely
you don't. But that's
from the bottom.
You're talking about being a global brand. It takes 100 years to be a global brand. It takes the first 10 and 20. You are totally irrelevant except for your own people in your own country, in your own region.
So let's.
And MLS shouldn't want to be all over the world and start being watched by 500 or 1 billion people in China or in India. No, they need to start with the 300,000 people in your small city. The 40 million people in New York. Yeah. That's what you need to build up. Those are the states A, B. C is bringing these people, paying them hundreds of millions of dollars. How about those hundreds of millions of dollars you still them in developing and intertwining?
I don't know.
That falls on the edge of our ideas not being able to.
Oh, yeah. For the record, guys, like we have the luxury of coming up with these wacky ideas and with no consequence.
No like sign, ballot of being able to say, hey, here's some ideas. Take our
my checkbook.
I'm not going to lie with the secret hopes that one of those goes viral.
Yeah. Hey.
That is a fact. Please make it viral. But no, coming back to it, that is the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You build your fan base by getting out of from the same fan base. Vela, like Aaron just said, and you kind of agree in a sense, he built LAFC. And he wasn't a mega star. He was a guy who actually didn't really work out.
That's what I was going to say. He was, a great hope for Mexico and Arsenal, and it just didn't pan out, which happens all the time. But he had a bit of a career resurrection here in LA,
which was great to see. Yeah,
and he brought so many people from the communities in LA.
Correct.
Back into that.
I never thought I'd see the day that LAFC would overtake Galaxy.
But that's the thing.
In popularity. To
be fair, that was just random lucky timing with Galaxy just being awful for a few years. No. But right off that, so the way I think you attack making MLS a bigger league and attracting in prime stars is from both ends. So yes, you're putting money into the local youth and local fan base, but you're also bringing in a Son Heung-min. Now you have people all over not even just within LA. You have people all over the country, all over Eastern Asia now, buying Son jerseys from LAFC. You go around Europe, you're gonna see Miami jerseys.
Well, yeah,
like that. That's the point where we're at.
Here's the thing though.
How many Beckham jerseys were all over Europe?
Yes, it's like saying it's the Yankee cap. But the Yankee cap is a symbol.
Exactly.
And Messi has made the Inter Miami logo a symbol.
So, but the key here is whether it's Miami or MLS is not fumbling the football, to use an American lexicon analogy, and taking that quick hit on the brand and showing that audience, oh shit, there's something here. And that's what needs to happen, in my opinion.
So we need games from the MLS and the other countries, just like we need other countries games in the US. No,
so Barcelona, Villarreal here, and Miami, Kansas City can go to Spain.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, at the end of the day,
they can play in the in Barcelona's home, and it'll be like a whole Messi game again.
There you go. Yeah, and now buying everybody, they don't go back. No, it's a reality. And again, let's
we're looking at the playoffs here.
We will talk about this for about 4 hours and still not come to a resolution.
Listen, we're looking at the playoffs here. What I see is New York City has a possibility to play Miami in the Eastern Final.
In the Eastern Final, yes. That's where I was going when I brought this up.
They don't reseed, right?
Correct.
Okay.
What you see is what you got.
Okay. They don't reseed.
I had forgotten that's what we were talking about.
A lot of listen, a lot of playoffs in the U.S. tend to reseed the bottom team, and it's like, why? No, leave it how it is.
Go back to my thought. All right, after the first round, the top seed picks their opponent.
Yeah, picks their next opponent. Yeah,
I still would love that.
That would be fun, though.
that'd be hilarious.
It reminds me of like schoolyard basketball or football, where you're like, all right, you're going back and forth picking your team.
Who's the last team to be picked?
You know what?
So pissed.
The NBA and NHL All-Star games have gone that route with
they
picking
pick the teams and they pick the players.
Dude, that would be lit, man.
That would be
I would love to see that.
That would be an idea, man. That would be an idea.
A good way to continue the show. All in agreement.
Yeah. All right. So, what's on tap? Oh, you know what? We have a great match on tap. Our first match of the week will be Diego and I will be streaming it. Naz's favorite team, Olympiacos.
Yeah, absolutely. Get out.
You're about
I'll be a Barca fan for a day. Here we go.
Diego,
I'm sorry, Roberto, but
Diego and I will be live streaming the doubleheader. 12:45. We'll be covering Barcelona Olympiacos, and then among the glut of other matches at 3:00. We will be watching alongside Arsenal Atleti, but we will also be commenting on the Man City game, the Dortmund game.
Are you guys going to watch what happens live?
Yeah.
So Naz, among others, will be in chat with us probably. Yep. But yeah, we'll cover all the Champions League matches. Wednesday the same. We will be on Twitch for that. 3 p.m. Despite their recent struggles this season under Igor Tudor, Real Madrid Juve should be a battle for the ages. These are the matches that we watch Champions League for.
Yep.
Right. It's not, as much as I want to watch and will be watching. It's not Barcelona Olympiacos. It's a clash of the Titans. Juventus. It is two global powerhouses setting foot on the field, and then we take a couple day break. Saturday, the late game for us will be Man United Brighton. So Man United on the heels of I can't believe we're saying this like this. On the heels of an unprecedented two victories in a row, will be playing Brighton and Hove Albion. And they actually sit side by side in the table. And then Sunday, our early kickoffs at 10 will be Aston Villa Man City, Bournemouth hosting Forest, and then 11:15 El Clasico.
All right, people, you need to show up for this one, man.
So
we need you here. We need to make this a big.
We need to make it a big one.
Have to be on Baltimore weekend.
I know. Well, I was gonna say, and that brings us to we actually I think have 3 for the road here. But the first one for the road is there will be no pour over this weekend. Rest assured, we'll still be making and posting our predictions for the weekend.
We will throw some content from Baltimore, baby.
I was going to say, Nas and Jesus, I can't even talk anymore. Nas and Diego will be in Baltimore.
No, Nas and Aaron will be at Baltimore too.
I will be just further south. I'll be in Washington, D.C.
He's going to run to us.
For the Marine Corps Marathon.
Maybe he'll join us for some magic.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm able to just stand and walk afterwards. But I'll be doing that for my one for the road. So, hopefully you don't miss us too much over the weekend. We should be, as long as I'm healthy and able to walk and run. I'll be back here on Monday for A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. And now you had one for the road that I found very interesting.
Maybe someone out there is listening to my hopes and dreams because U.S. Soccer announced they will try a divisional promotion and relegation amongst schools in soccer.
In NCAA.
NCAA. So you know how they have Division 1, Division 2, Division 3? There will be a promotional thing between the teams amongst those.
They're testing the waters.
Yeah.
I like
it. And they also recommended, and for the record, at least from the article I saw, these were all recommendations. Nothing has been put in place yet. Nothing has, and this will, U.S. Soccer can recommend until they're blue in the face. Yep. It's up to NCAA to implement any and all of this. But they're also recommending a full school year schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so September to May or August to May, basically.
And then it will be like what, regional? Wow.
So I think it's divisional.
Divisional.
Yeah. You're right.
My problem with their potential implementation of Pro-Rel is the way you do squad building in the for the record, I coached at the collegiate level for 4 years, I think. Made it to a Sweet 16.
Nice.
NCAA Division III women.
Look at you, my guy.
The problem is, we'll use our most local college here, Mount St. Mary College. Let's say they start in the artificial 5th division.
Mm-hmm.
They get promoted 3 years in a row. So they're in the 2nd division now, hoping to make the 1st division. But it was just one class that is now seniors and they've aged out. The consistency is not the right word, but the
continuity.
Exactly. The continuity
of not going to be
your
the same,
squad is not. Because I've had this argument even for high school sports.
But that is the reality of every single.
I mean, you have players on 3 to 5 year contracts, right?
That is just the reality of somebody climbing up, and the reality of somebody.
Those are very fair points. That is my worry for the way this works, or if it gets wound up.
So I actually that would be, and now that you said it, I 100% and wholeheartedly agree with that.
And what happens also? This is a thought that just popped in my head. What happens if Mount St. Mary College gets promoted multiple times, but they don't have the budget to travel to these other teams that are now also in their division?
Well, I mean, doesn't the money come with promotion?
It should be.
I'm listening. Football's getting the way to pay players.
NCAA winning and all that stuff. No, don't they get money?
These are.
Especially because
in NCAA Division I, maybe, but for soccer,
if they get promoted,
realistically,
if they get promoted, they should get money to build bigger stadiums to allow tickets. And I don't know.
It doesn't even.
So, okay,
you know what happened?
That's a great point.
You're right. Yeah.
So the NCAA is putting that money up, right? Realistically,
I wouldn't even have it.
Who's putting that money up for?
I don't know how college sports work. I cannot.
It's actually so much easier, and of course, Southern teams are going to dominate because that's just the way things work in this country.
You got college players already making millions of dollars.
The SEC doesn't even sponsor men's soccer.
No. So it will be based on whoever does have soccer.
But the problem is, if that money is coming from the NCAA, let's and I'm just making up a random number. Let's say, again, I'll use our local example, Mount St. Mary College. They make it to the top division, and the NCAA gives them $2 million to build a stadium.
You know how many?
What happens if they get relegated now 3 years in a row?
What happens if Portsmouth gets relegated 3 years in a row?
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
But that's their own people spending that money, not. I don't know.
Programs. NCAA gives money, but the
Premier League gives money.
A program is a booster program.
The Premier League and SEC football is not NCAA soccer.
Listen, here's the other thing too: is you have sponsors that give money to build these things as well. Like, listen, I don't know college sports. I wish I knew more about college sports. But listen, we're paying players now.
Yeah,
we're paying players to play for a school they're getting a full ride at. Mm-hmm. The money can come from somewhere because obviously the money that the players are getting is coming from somewhere.
Again, I'll say it. The money is there for football and basketball.
Yep.
It's not there for other sports.
Oh, that's because MLS isn't big in the U.S.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's not just that. I mean, baseball. Baseball is.
Baseball has 3 years.
But that's the problem.
Baseball has the chance of going from literally a Division I team in college to going and playing in a AAA team or a single A, whatever the lowest one is.
Single A.
Single A or even interleague. Like you still have an opportunity to play baseball outside of your college, right? But that's the thing.
But
they get money to build bigger and better stadiums as their time goes on.
Very few and far between. I'll be honest with you. It's not. It's football and basketball and everybody else.
No,
baseball is probably a second tier. I think
you still have the College World Series. You have the Little League World Series.
To lump all those other sports together, but it's football for all intents.
I mean, you could look at it like the NHL, right? Again, in the NHL, the only real colleges or schools, high school and above, that can accommodate hockey are in the north of the U.S. Right. There's your example.
Right?
You can't really grow hockey in the South without building.
Let me give you a quick finish on that one. So the thing with that is, college wouldn't be a business. College would be a thing. And personally, like I'm saying, that would be my dream when it comes to actually growing soccer, because you don't necessarily have to have huge stadiums. You're doing it for the benefit of the sport. So let's say, how many out of the 52 states, let's say 20 states or 30 states.
You say 52 states?
Yeah, Hawaii and all these other things.
50 plus 50 plus 2 territories.
Yeah. Sorry. 52 territories. But out of all the places that have colleges around, you know what I mean? You could say they play amongst themselves. The students are the ones who are going to prop up the situation. So you don't need to have a stadium like the MLS will have a stadium. You play in your stadiums in your college. You start small. That's the thing. America always thinks that things have to start from the top every time. There is growth. There is a grinding process from zero. And if college decides to do this, those are future generations that are going to actually start paying attention, because school spirit says school spirit.
I'm probably going to go off the rails.
Don't you think that the major soccer programs in Division I would have already had that base if that were the case? You say the students start. I mean, we already have major Division I programs. They're not drawing an audience.
Well, here's the other thing to that.
What does ProRel and this what changes with this?
In a US form, right?
Drama, content, things for people to get attached to.
Well, here's the thing. In true US format, the college should affect the upper league.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
Where's the soccer draft? Is there a soccer draft for the
for many years?
So I believe they got rid of it.
Yeah, I've talked about this.
Because honestly, I think the draft is care? Not only do they not care, but you're looking at 22, 23-year-olds. I mean, you look at any European academy, any South American academy. If you're 22 and 23 just getting into a professional contract.
I mean, Arsenal's academy has under 19s, under 20s, under 23s. Like they have,
but those guys have been with the club already for 5 years.
But that's also an academy. No. They go.
So, that is absolutely true.
So you're saying what I've been saying all along, that clubs and that
no.
You need that continuity of club support from being a kid.
Yeah. We've talked about this.
Like I told.
That's why I think honestly, I think all this. I'm interested to see what happens, but I don't think the NCAA changes anything.
No, because that would be a great opportunity.
I'm just glad that I read.
Opportunity for what though?
For growth, man.
How?
For growth, to learn.
Everyone says, it's a great opportunity to grow, but give me the meat and potatoes of it.
Doing it. That's the meat and potatoes. Actually trying something different than what you've been doing, and it's a waste of time. Because again, you keep talking about there is no support, there is no build-ups, there is none of this, there is none of that. We literally have been talking about in these past 6 months about this generation of American soccer fans. We are parents that actually are following our teams. Our kids are actually growing and to actually like soccer. They're going to school. They are developing.
They're getting.
I think it's the exact opposite. As we're developing as a soccer nation, we're getting less into college soccer. Because at 14, 15, 16, you're going into an NYC or Red Bull Academy. You're going to, you're going to play for Los Dos in Los Angeles Galaxy.
This country is too big. Again, our countries, we go to a soccer team or we go to do these things because we don't have any other choice.
Well, here's
England is fanatical about soccer, culture. Right?
Yeah. It's the same thing. It's a tiny country.
They have university teams. Does anyone care?
We can't.
Who wins university championships?
Here's the other issue.
About a smaller country, a country the size of one state in this ginormous territory that is the United States.
I don't think that's the problem.
It is a huge huge difference, and you don't know it because you've never been out of it. You've been out of it in the sense of visiting someone else. That's not the same thing. You don't understand dynamics of a smaller thing. Think about it in just New York. There are things that have been done in New York that are unique from New York. There are things that are done in California that are unique from them. That is what we experience in our countries. That's why there is a Spanish league that is so big. There is an English league that is so big. But there is a Scottish and Welsh and Irish league that are absolutely and totally irrelevant for the rest of the planet.
I mean, but isn't this just showing that the U.S. mentality of how they run or how they
it's bigger
put together like systems isn't working for soccer? Because again, there's no draft. Nobody cares about who came from college because the better players are already playing at their clubs. So nobody cares about college soccer. So there is no draft. There is nothing going into. So the fact that the MLS now has that still same structure as every other sports with it, but doesn't have the support that the other ones do. They don't have the AAA, AA, single A. No, they don't have the college football.
You have hold on. You have academies. You have an entire reserve.
You don't hear about them.
But listen, you're a fan of Arsenal. Yeah. You know about Arsenal's academy.
I'm a fan of the Hudson Valley Renegades. I can go watch their single A team go play.
You could watch NYCFC too.
Can you?
You could go watch Red Bull.
Too? Okay.
You could go watch Red Bull too. They play in Montclair.
Okay. All right.
So
why don't I hear about that? I hear about Renegades because they're the local thing. Exactly. Like he said, your local teams need to focus on local growth. And I hear about the Renegades. I go to see the Renegades because they're there and they're local.
Okay. Do you hear about Hudson Valley Hammers?
Nope.
Do you hear about Westchester SC?
Nope.
Do you hear about Cosmos?
I don't even hear. I don't hear about Marist. I don't hear about Mount St. Mary. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The lower soccer teams we don't hear about.
In countries, we hear about every single one of those things all the time because it's smaller. There is so much less to think about. You go to Chile and those Chileans know every single one of the teams in their city from every single one of the categories they play, who goes up, who goes down, up and down.
Here's the thing. Being in the U.S., in the U.S., I've heard more about Barcelona B and the under 21s of all the things in Middlesbrough and Hull City and Portsmouth and all these other teams that I will never experience or ever see a thing about, but I've heard about them. Yeah. You hear nothing under the MLS. You hear nothing. Even USL, I can't name a single USL
and
team.
that's not on the MLS because we
for as much as we talk smack sometimes about the MLS. It's not the MLS's job to do all that.
Soccer needs to instill or put up the money.
We can agree on something.
Putting up the money for all these things.
Yes.
To make all these smaller regions.
And like you said, you got to promote from underneath.
That has always been one of my huge arguments.
And that's what I was waiting.
It is not the MLS's job to grow the American game. It's not the Premier League's job to grow English soccer.
It is though. The Premier League is the largest league.
That is the FA's job.
The FA is the one that puts it.
The FA. It is U.S. soccer.
Like in the
Premier League is a business. MLS is a business.
But here's the thing: MLS is looked at more than U.S. soccer.
So
it's not the
MLS's fault. That's U.S. Soccer's fault.
But that's because they're trying to put an emphasis on the league being a brand.
But that's the difference.
U.S. Soccer is not a brand. The MLS is a brand.
America does need that.
What is more looked at, the Premier League or the English national team?
The Premier League.
There you go. So
we
don't make the same argument for England.
But again, apples and pears. America,
apples and pears are actually a lot closer related than you probably think.
And that's what I'm saying.
All right, we're getting into the budget.
We became a science documentary.
The sports in the league might be the same. Fruitology. The thing is, in America, the brand actually grows the sport. NBA.
The brand is growing U.S. soccer.
The
not
NBA.
US soccer growing the brand.
There is USA basketball. And they're in charge of something basketball related, and they put basketball courts in every single neighborhood in the area. But the NBA
is the one that does.
Is the one that makes it. Known.
So I will say,
same thing with the NFL.
I think those are bad examples because the NBA is not operating under USA Basketball. To my knowledge, I think they are completely independent of one another.
The same thing is with MLS and USA Soccer, no?
MLS is under the umbrella of US Soccer. Same way the Premier League is under. Yeah, I agree.
It feels like the MLS
the same way the Premier League is under the umbrella of the English FA. La Liga is under the umbrella of the RFEF.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I think the NBA and other American sports are not the proper.
Well, analogy. I mean, the Premier League is just the league, right? It's just the name of the league. It's not. There's
there's
a company.
PGMOL. That's what they call it. Okay.
No, PGMOL is just the Referees Association.
Okay.
So in the early '90s, when it was the old Division I, everything was under the FA.
Okay.
And as a marketing and branding awareness and separation from the haves and the have-nots, the first division broke away and formed the Premier League, still under the FA, but they completely changed the way the payouts and everything go.
They became their own entity. Still operating under the FA, under the English pyramid, and agreeing to still have promotion relegation with the Championship, League One, League Two, and everything.
Well, again, that's another thing that US does differently. It feels like the US soccer is here and the MLS is here.
I would say the same for England. Yeah. Honestly, you ask 1,000 fans, do you? And again, obviously, we're in the US, so you're not going to have a lot of England national team supporters. Yeah. But you go into England and you ask, who your favorite team is.
Yeah.
From 1,000 fans, how many people are you going to get that say England?
Really? Yeah.
I would venture to say maybe 50.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, and it's
the same with.
I mean, it's the same technically in the US because again, 9 times out of 10, the fans are just like, oh, cool, World Cups. Who's your fan? Yeah. The US.
Yeah.
Can you name an MLS team?
Yeah.
No.
And that's why again we've talked about this. I think MLS needs to get their shit together with the World Cup next summer.
They need a AAA.
But to use what's here with the World Cup, whether it's MLS or not, whether it's US Soccer or not, you have, for the second time in our lives, you have the marketing opportunity of a lifetime.
Yep.
And you're getting it now twice. You had the World Cup in '94.
Yeah.
You had the Women's World Cup in '99. You have
something that
this
World
really
Cup again, too many countries in
and you have the Women's World Cup again in 2031, I believe.
I want to see upstairs filled. That's what I want to see.
Oh, for the World Cup, you will.
Yes.
That's for our global and not local audience. For USA matches, especially in the World Cup, the place will be packed.
Oh yeah.
What I want is, for a random MLS match or a random Premier League or La Liga match or Bundesliga, I want, selfishly, just general soccer fans, not just the American national team fan.
Yeah, no, because it's funny that you said it.
And hopefully we can grow from, we take this World Cup
again. And then we had 3 different matches with 3 different viewers going on Saturday.
Yeah.
That was great to see. However, I would like to see 10, 10, and 10, not 2, 2, and 2.
Yeah.
And again, that's how we grow, which is growing.
For what it's worth, I did not, and I said this, I think, to Diego. I forgot to post any advertising for Liverpool Man United.
But they showed up.
We had 3 or 4 tables full of people, just assuming that we were going to have the game on. So,
you said that even the Arsenal game when I messaged you, said you had people coming to watch.
Yeah. So we are. I mean, again, now we're taking you as an audience behind the curtain here.
Welcome.
We are again starting to grow organically. Just like, okay, now we're just known as the spot to watch soccer, which is what we wanted. I couldn't pick anything better, to have. But
and this is
now we want to become the spot.
Yeah. And this is the process. This is the grind. This is the thing that, like I keep saying, it takes a few decades to do.
Yeah, I mean, we started
in terms of longevity. This is what 25, 27 years of MLS.
MLS is 30 this year, I believe.
Yep.
So, but we start and
I started with you guys the end of last season. I started with you guys.
We started, I would say, CDU Newburgh started in earnest
That's at the end of the last World Cup.
February of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great crowd for the World Cup. Obviously, we always do, especially when the U.S. is involved. World Cup finals, Champions League finals. We've always been fine. And then when Champions League started back up after the Qatar World Cup, because it was mid-season World Cup basically. I managed the bar on Wednesdays anyway. I said, instead of opening at 4, why don't I open up at 2:30 and we'll do Champions League.
Yep.
And from there, slowly but surely, we're getting there. But to your point, these other leagues have 100-year head start on us.
Mm-hmm.
The MLS alone has a 30-year head start on us as what we're doing.
Yeah. So again, not too many people know. Again, it's all about getting the word out and the community word out. Because again, until I met you guys, I didn't know what the Hudson Valley Hammers were. Yeah. I didn't know they were an actual thing. I still haven't been to a game, but it's just one of those things that I didn't know they exist.
And
never knew they existed. The B teams of the MLS, like you said, the NYCFC 2 or whatever. I didn't know they existed.
Yep.
There's no word about it.
They have a really cool kit. They have it's a white kit with dark, kind of like a Yankees jersey, like white with blue pinstripes. Yeah. And instead of the NYCFC badge, it's a pigeon. It's really cool. Nice. But anyway, I digress.
But we shall get there, and it takes people like us to start doing the little grind. Start having the conversation.
Little grind.
It says the little grind. The big grind comes in when we start getting more people.
When we're doing
this is all setting blazing the trail.
The difference is once we start getting busy with it and consistent, we can have actual staff up there doing it, not person. And you and I can just enjoy. We watch the games. We play mayor.
We can pay people with the Twitch money.
There you go.
He can pay off all the stuff he's gotten, and then we can start paying people with the Twitch money to work upstairs while we stream the live reactions downstairs.
But we still need to keep reaching people little by little individually.
That's a great segue. Speaking of our last one for the road, speaking of hopefully a little income.
Yes.
In the coming weeks, we will be releasing on our website, cdunewburgh.com, our first official home kit.
Yes,
it is.
Amazing.
I helped design it. I know I'm obviously biased with it. It is a fucking banger.
Yep,
it is
100%.
The city of Newburgh in a nutshell. The streets won't forget this jersey.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we'll call it that.
The streets won't forget. I like it. Yeah, so that might be it.
Either way, we will be advertising it.
You can get that. You can get that down at the bottom of the jersey.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
we'll do that.
Nice.
If we keep making additions, this kit is never going to come out, by the way.
No, it's coming out. It's coming out for Christmas.
Rest assured, early to mid-November, we will be releasing our kit for a quick, probably 2 or 3 week online sale. I've been told by our manufacturer with those dates, they will be available on your doorstep for Christmas and holiday delivery. So if you have friends, family, or you yourself are a Newburgh resident or just want to support what we're doing here, or a Newburgh expat who misses the area, it will be an awesome kit for any and all. Youth sizes up to 5X.
Yep.
I think this is our longest.
Oh, by far.
No, yeah.
Longest.
But thank you guys so much. But we had fucking great debates.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah. This was fun.
That's how this course starts, man.
Yes. So thank you for listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Please like, share, follow, do all the things. Follow us on, like I said, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Where else are we? TikTok.
Just check out
our
website.
Yeah, cdunewburgh.com.
Mainly, yes.
And all social media.
Please follow on Twitch.
Yes,
we need 5 more followers.
We are almost there to our next big step on Twitch.
Just need 5.
And while you're following, make sure you watch our live streams tomorrow. We will release this episode tomorrow morning. So watch us later on Tuesday for Diego and I with the double header, and then Wednesday for Real Madrid Juve. And then, like I said, we will be missing out on the pour over, but stay tuned for Instagram to see our pour over predictions. We cannot miss those.
No,
because Diego has some catching up to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to get my chair back over on the other side.
Dave is caught up.
I'm catching up. I had a perfect prediction.
I think my relegation is gonna go that bad that I'm gonna have to start doing the show from home.
I had a perfect 5-point prediction with a Harry Kane goal and a Bayern Munich 2-1 victory.
And if Munich had scored one, I would have had.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
But you didn't.
I did not.
So thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate you all. Kidding aside, thank you so much to Diego and Naz as well for hanging out with me for 2 hours tonight. And we'll see you again next week. Guys, enjoy Baltimore. I will try to survive Washington, D.C. with my run.
Come on, you're running there. Come on, you're running to Baltimore afterwards.
How about we just drop him off and then we'll pick him up?
Yeah.
He'll be dead tired, so we'll drive for him.
Thank you guys again, and cheers, and we'll see you next week, guys.
Cheers.